Welcome back, family. So on this channel, we've been covering the manufacturing of the Kamala Harris campaign. And we know part of that is getting entertainers and influencers in the black community to co-sign it.
Kamala Harris did not, in fact, lock up the thousands of people that I said she did.
She did lock up thousands of people. She locked up more than thousands of people. I thought I was the only one calling this out, but I'm not. There are a lot of people calling it out, including Dr. Umar Johnson. Let's begin.
Television debate. I want a television debate with Steve Harvey, DL Hughley, Ricky Smiley versus Dr. Umar Tunde. Is the Democratic Party the party of African people? Roland Martin can join in too. If they want Roland, they can bring Roland too. I want DL Hughley, Steve Harvey, and Ricky Smiley in a debate. Is the Democratic Party the party of the American African? Somebody get Steve Harvey on the phone. Somebody get DL Hughley on the phone. Somebody get Ricky Smiley. Dr. Umar wants to come on y'all show and debate you 3-on-1. And if y'all need Roland to help you out, Roland can come too. We can make it 4-on-1. Steve Harvey said that the Omega Psi Phi brothers run the radio. In all respect to my Omega Psi Phi brothers, the late great Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad was a member of Omega Psi Phi, so I'm not going to reduce the Omegas down to 3 men. I'm not going to do that. We're going to keep this about Steve, DL, and Ricky. Okay? Steve, DL, and Ricky. I want a debate. DL Hughley, will you debate me on your radio? Steve Harvey, will you debate me on your radio? Ricky Smiley, will you debate me? I'll debate all of you separately or all 3 of you together. Since y'all run black radio, and I run black consciousness, it's only right that we have a clash of kings. Y'all called the kings of comedy, right? The kings of comedy? Let's call it the kings of comedy versus King Kong consciousness. Let's call it the kings of comedy versus King Kong consciousness. Let's call it the kings of comedy versus King Kong consciousness. I'm ready right now. I don't need no prep time. I'm ready right now. Intellectual Tunde is ready right now. When we going to do this debate?
I like this, man. I got to tell you, man, I felt that this was something that I wish that I had a platform that was bigger so they would have to respond to me. I've been on DL Hughley's neck for about 6 months. He won't say an uttering word because I'm too small, but he responded to Dr. Umar. We'll get to that in a minute. Steve Harvey won't respond to me, but he responded to Dr. Umar. Or no, I think he responded to Cat Williams. So they'll respond to you if you're big enough, right? So unfortunately, I don't reach that. I'm at that point yet. But yeah, I like this because I'm tired of these people getting paid or trying to get favors. And you can't tell me, oh, well, I just support Kamala Harris. You don't know enough about politics, Steve Harvey, to even make that type of call. We start talking about any type of policy, Steve Harvey. You and Ricky Smiley don't have nothing for us. You don't even know what she stands for at all. Okay, so we all know you only sided with her because of how it benefits you either financially, professionally, or through relationships. Which is the main reason why most others, like, look, I'm not even singling you out if you guys weren't so damn vocally bashing Black Americans for not supporting her when we are the most supportive of her. It's like way over the top the way Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey and these other folks project themselves, the way they dance for these biscuits, the way they perform above and beyond for the Democratic Party. It's just pathetic, man. Once again, the Democratic Party, I got so many issues with them, but it's not even that. You can support who you want, but why do these particular black men have to go after black people and bash us? They don't have to do that. So I'm with Dr. Umar, man. Call them out. Call them out. call them out. And there's so many other Black Americans all across the internet who feel the same way. They've been calling out these people that think they run the internet, think they run Black America, think they speak for Black America. No one chose DL Hughley, Roland Martin, Ricky Smiley, Luke Campbell, Plies. Plies need to be working fries at Wendy's. So anyway, for those that want to know really what Dr. Umar's problem or his concern, I wanted him to kind of explain a little bit more why he's calling him out.
They bringing up Fannie Lou Hamer when the Democratic Party sabotaged Fannie Lou Hamer. Look at the hypocrisy. They don't think y'all know your history. They don't think y'all know your history. Bringing up Fannie Lou Hamer. She turned in her damn grave. She turned in her damn grave. The Democratic Party was Fannie Lou Hamer's enemy, brother and sister. It will be about both parties, but who's pushing Trump? I'm not pushing Trump, and they not pushing Trump, so we don't need to have a conversation about Trump, but we can bring it up if you like. They not pushing Trump, and I'm not pushing Trump, but we can include Trump if you want.
It's one of the most pathetic things when we are criticizing the Democratic Party, instead of people saying, you know what, we need to stop giving our votes to the Democratic Party. You got to appoint Dr. Umar, you got to appoint Tim Black. Instead they go, well, you must like the Republicans. Nah, no, that's not how that works. You're shopping at a store that's contributing to the elimination of Black people in the world. That's a part of our destruction. You are buying from and you are participating in a party that is destroying us and laughing in your face behind your back, on your face and behind your back. That does not mean I'm with the other party. I'm alerting you to what they're doing. And they're only able to do it because you allow them. That's the point. That is not doing the work of Trump. That's doing the work for Black people. That's doing the work for America. That's doing the work for the truth. Okay? That's doing the work for the truth. Dr. Umar is going to go a little step further. But that because I saw some people were saying, why is Dr. Umar so angry? Why is he so hostile? Because he's pissed. They're using, at that convention, they used the likeness in the name of Fannie Lou Hamer when the Democratic Party didn't rock with her like that. The Democratic Party did not represent her. They were not fighting for her. They were not supporting her. She was a thorn in their side. And now they want to rewrite history and paint themselves as being in solidarity with them. And instead of you being upset that they are conniving that way, you mad at him for being upset. No, you're not mad at the people that are using Fannie Lou Hamer's legacy to trick you. You mad at him for being mad about it. You calling him out for being This is what happens when you don't have information. Those people that are feeling that way about Dr. Umar in this particular case, they lack information. And we're trying to give you the education. Dr. Umar's going to go a little bit further.
The problem with y'all Negroes is y'all believe y'all have to belong to a plantation at all. Let me say it again. The problem with y'all Negroes is y'all believe y'all need to belong to a plantation at all. Y'all don't want to get off of a plantation. Y'all need a plantation, whether it's the Republican Party plantation, Democratic Party plantation, Green Party plantation. Y'all need a plantation. That's the problem with Black folks. You need to belong. Who should I vote for? Stop begging me for the right to belong to a plantation. I'm a runaway African. I represent, where my runaway Africans at? We running away with our vote. We not staying on no damn plantation. I represent the runaway slave party. I represent the runaway enslaved African vote. We done ran off the Democratic Party plantation, and we ain't coming back. We done ran off the Republican Party plantation. We ain't coming back. If you do your history, The corporation is a plantation. All of us work, right? You work at a job. You work for a corporation. The corporation is the 21st century plantation. The NBA is a plantation. NFL is plantation. Hip hop is plantation. Hollywood is plantation. Media is plantation. We still on the plantation. The corporation is the new plantation, my ninja. The corporation is the new plantation. And guess what the new slave chain is? Guess what the new shackle is? The new shackle is your paycheck. The new plantation is the corporation, and the new shackle is your paycheck.
Yes. Yes, man. Yes, I agree. I agree, man. I make a lot less than I made when I was working in corporate America, when I was working in the computer IT field. I wasn't even that high up, but I made a lot more than I make now. But I'm a free black man now and have been that way for a decade. And it took years for me to be consciously free. Consciously, like totally free. Like I can say whatever I want to say. That I'm able to be myself. I had to find out who myself was after 25 years of working in a system where you could not be yourself, where you had to constantly code switch. You know what I'm talking about if you have a job. And you know what? Everyone's doing it. Everyone has to code switch. Everyone's trapped in that shit. It's just it's more hostile to Black Americans. It's more hostile to us. It really is. So Dr. Umar put this out, and I appreciate him for putting this out. Go to Dr. Umar on Instagram. That's his content. Courtesy of Dr. Umar from Instagram. Always respect due to the content creators of their own content. Well, DL Hughley responded to this. Bet, why don't we televise it? Live from the cafeteria of your school. After the kids have all had lunch, provided free of charge, wearing free uniforms provided through all the donations you've taken in for years. Dr. Doolittle, this ain't what you want. Team DL. Yeah, so he went kind of hard on Dr. Umar here. And I would say, yeah, he went hard on Dr. Umar. Here's the thing, though, guys. Here's the thing. Dr. Umar still wins because Dr. Umar is standing on righteousness. Yeah, see, Dr. Umar standing on righteousness. Yeah, those are good jokes. And yeah, DL has a couple good points. Where's the school? Where's the uniforms? Where's the food? Gotcha. Guess what? Distraction. That ain't what the conversation's about. The conversation, the debate is that, is Dr. Umar got his school up? Is Dr. Umar, what Dr. Umar did with whatever donations? That's not what the conversation's about. The conversation's about you and them damn Democrats. That you all have been putting out all this content bashing Black Americans, saying particularly Black men, how we don't support Kamala Harris. That's what the conversation was. Don't allow yourself to be sidetracked, man, by DL coming in and saying some jokes. That's why he did it. Because he can't stand on his square. But yeah, if he's just joking and he really wants to do the debate and he wants to televise it, great. Do it. I support it. Let's do it. Can I restream it? Hell, I love to participate. I would love to sit across from Roland Martin and pick apart all the money that he's been made off the Democratic Party. Mr. Independent, that's what Roland Martin says, he's an independent. Who you think's more independent, me or Roland Martin? Roland Martin says he's not even a Democrat, he's an independent. Compare my content to Roland Martin's content. Does Roland Martin seem to be independent? See, I would love to have these conversations. I would love to get into this. I'd love to talk to DL Hughley and Plies and Ricky Steve, and Steve Smiley. You know, whatever. I love to talk to because they're all the same. They're all carpetbaggers. They're all beggars. They're all private dancers for the Democratic Party. And that's not what we need. We need people that are courageous. We need people that are willing to stand up to the Democrats. We need people that are willing to demand something for our vote, even if it costs you money. Guys, right now where black people are in America, we need people that are willing to lose money. Not come up with excuses why it's okay for them to take money. You understand what I'm saying? We need to go the other way. The time is running out on Black America. We're being overrun as it is. How are we going to survive in a country where we own hardly anything? So anyway, yeah, I'm with Dr. Umar on this out of principle. That doesn't mean DL didn't make a funny jab. Good job, DL. DL is a comedian. I'm a semi-comedian. I'm a professional comedian too. I made money touring on road. I did that too. But this ain't about that. This is about DL Hughley doing all this press for Kamala Harris. That's what this is about, baby. Make jokes about that shit. Make jokes about that. When you said she got a name that you can't pronounce. See, what's blacker than that? Make jokes about how it's okay for you and Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley to throw black people under the bus for this candidate. A candidate that can't even do a debate. You willing to debate Dr. Umar? You ain't set up no stipulations like we need mics cut or no mics, or you need to bring notes. You caping for a candidate that needs notes at her debate. Who can't afford to stand. Trump is a decade, 10, 12 years older than her. Excuse me, guys. Damn. Donald Trump is 12, 14, 15 years older than Kamala Harris, and she wants to sit down during the debate. That's your team, DL. See, I would love for you to defend that. And we know what you're going to do to defend it. You're going to change the subject. You, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, going to change the subject because you can't stand on it, man. And there are people that are laughing it up. They think that it's going to work with some folks because they don't know what to focus on. But then when someone like me comes in and reminds them, this is not about a joke. This is not about funny time. DL Hughley is hurting black people right now because he should be using his position to push Kamala for concessions to get our support. Instead, the only concessions that I think that DL Hughley, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, Plies, and them have negotiated in Roland are concessions for themselves. They're supposed to be negotiating on your behalf. Especially Steve Harvey. This was the guy that went to the Trump Tower. This guy was at Trump Tower 4 years ago? 8 years ago? He was at Trump Tower. Now he at Kamala's Tower. I mean, what more evidence do you need of a flim-flam dude? A flip-flopper? A lame? No ethics. But we already knew that about Steve. Look how he did Bernie Mac. Come on, look how he did Mark Curry. Come on, man. We already know that about this guy. This guy, he ain't in the conversation. He got a lot of paper. He don't have no soul. He don't have any ethics. Yeah, Steve. Yeah. Real talk. It is what it is. So, yeah, I side with Dr. Umar. It's time for the Democratic Party to be called out. And while we're doing it, let's call out all the sycophants. Let's call out all the private dancers. Let's call out all the spokesmodels that get out here and they cape for them. They get on these platforms. They lie through their teeth. They pretend to be fighting for us when they're only fighting for themselves.